Today we're going to learn about the polar and the rectangular system. So first we have the rectangular system, and the coordinates are in terms of x and y. And it's graphed in the regular xy coordinate plane. Next we have the polar coordinate system. The coordinates are expressed in terms of r and theta, where r represents the distance from the origin to the point, and theta represents the distance between the line and the x-axis. So next we're going to derive how you get x, y, and tan theta. So first we have sine of theta, which is opposite over hypotenuse, y over r. So in order to express y in terms of r and theta, you multiply r to both sides, get y equals r sine of theta. Next we have cosine theta, which is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, which is x over r. So in order to express these in terms of r and theta, we multiply r to both sides, and we get x equals r cosine theta. So next we have tan theta, which is equal to opposite over adjacent, y over x. So in order to get theta, we have to take arctan on both sides. And we get theta is arctan of y over x. So next, we have to do the Pythagorean theorem to get the last equation. So we have a right triangle, which is x squared plus y squared equals to the hypotenuse squared, which is r squared. And that is our last equation. So example 1 is converting r squared equal to 4 into rectangular form. So the first thing we have to know here is that x squared plus y squared equals to r squared. And then we basically set x squared plus y squared equal to 4. And it's simple as that. So for example 2, we have converting 1 comma square root 3 into polar coordinates. So the first step is we graph it on an xy coordinate system. So we have 1 comma square root 3, and then we draw a right triangle. We know that tan is equal to opposite over adjacent, so that's y over x. So in order to find theta, we do inverse tan on both sides. And we plug in our y coordinate, which is square root 3. And then our x coordinate, which is 1. So we know that theta is equal to 60 degrees or pi over 3. So next we have to find the r value, which is a radius. In order to do this, we do the Pythagorean theorem. So we have a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. So we have 1 squared plus square root 3 squared equals to c squared. So r squared is equal to 4. So r is equal to 2. And then since we know that polar coordinates forms is in r comma theta, so we have 2 comma pi over 3, since theta must be in radians. So for example 3, we have converting 1/2 comma pi over 6 to rectangular coordinates. So the two equations we have to know in order to do this is x equals to r cosine theta and y equals to r sine theta. So first we start off with x. So we know that the radius is 1/2, cosine, and theta is pi over 6. So this becomes 1/2 times square root 3 over 2, which simplifies into square root 3 over 4. Next we have y equals r sine theta. So our r value is 1/2. Our theta is pi over 6. 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/4. So our final answer in x comma y is square root 3 over 4, comma 1 over 4. So for example 4, we have converting 3 comma negative 120 degrees into rectangular coordinates. So first, we have to know the equation x equals to r cosine theta. And second, we have to know the equation y equals to r sine of theta. Next, we draw a reference triangle. So negative 120 degrees is in the third coordinate quadrant. And then we have a reference triangle of 60 degrees. So in order to find, so we know that our r value is 3. And then cosine of 60. And then on the reference triangle, we know that the opposite of 60 is always rad 3. And in this case, it's negative because it's in the third quadrant. And then the x value is -1. Then our hypotenuse is 2. So in order to do cosine, we do adjacent over hypotenuse. So we have 3 times -1 over 2. Which is -3/2. Next, we move on to our y. So we know that our r value is 3, which is given. Sine of 60 degrees. If we look at our triangle, we know that sine of 60 is negative square root 3 over 2 times 3, and then we get -3 square root 3 over 2. So our final answer in x, y coordinates is -3 over 2, comma, -3 square root 3 over 2.